Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News, and I'm your host, Ellie. And this is the Weather and Lifestyle News Show. Boy, I've been busy today, all the way up to, I've been on the phone a lot, even for my own state. They're draining the lake. Um, Boy, my hair looks horrible. It's been windblown. Um, the Karen, get this. They're going to drain our lake here. Now they drain it every. They've drained it twice since '96, and now they're going to drain it again. And I got um, a big time on it. Um, a big article on it, and I'm going to go over it with everybody because Lake Conway is very big for our community, and now there's pros and cons, and um, I'm still moving stuff. I run in here and got on, and ugh, I barely made it in here. Boy, Karen, and Karen, I still got to call you because the high chair is there wasn't a rear. You know what I'm talking about. And so it's going to be delivered to the front. That's all it would give us. So they let us know today. So it might be there tomorrow. Wow. The next few days, so keep an eye on it. Um, yeah, they're draining I might as well do the report right now. They're going to drain the whole lake. And they say it's a $1 million project they're going to do. Now, they've had problems with the Lake Conway Dam. Now, I don't show very many pictures, and maybe I might have to go out this weekend and get pictures of the lake before they drain it, and then maybe after they drain it. Because this is something that has been a sore thumb to Conway for years. They keep having problems where the fish just aren't making it. They don't grow. They're not growing. So they drained the lake and they refilled it. They restocked it a few years back, and they thought it had corrected the problem. Well, the other one is stumps. There are stumps all over the lake, and there are many accidents where fishermen go a little bit too fast, hit the stump that's barely visible, and flip their boats over. So they're gonna not only they're gonna drain the lake, fix the dam that needs to be fixed, um, and also cut some of the stumps down to prevent the accidents. They're going to put in fisheries. One is a minnow to be able to feed the fish so they can get bigger. Our bass and our crappie aren't getting very big here. And it used to be huge for the big derbies, fish tournaments that would come into our lake. Arkansas is big. It's almost like Wisconsin in a way that we have this beautiful lake that just isn't the fish isn't aren't sustainable, and so they have drained it twice since I've been here in '96. So there's issues, and this way it gives people a chance to fix their docks. There is docks and piers that they have put out there themselves, Arkansas Fish and Game, that are now crumbling. So they say the lake will be empty for 5 years. There are so many pissed off residents around that lake because they bought the house to be on the lake. So it's going back and forth with our community on, and it killed the fishing industry for those that are trying to rent boats. Um, they knew it was coming. With the drought we've had, the lake did go down a few feet, and they're starting to already see issues. So, um, um, so this here, they say, is going to be the perfect fix for uh, Lake Conway. And it's very sad. I hate to see it drained again. Um, but I'm going to try to get out there this weekend, get some pictures. And then after they drain it, they start in September. Um, and they plan to keep it empty for 5 years. And they're going to refurbish. They're going to, I think they're talking a resort. Um, Thank goodness I'm heading north. I'm not for big cities, so I'm going to go live in the woods with next to another lake, and to try it again. So, well, you know, Karen, I don't know whether to be mad or um, it, now overfishing. No, there's no overfishing happening. The fish are in there. They're just go to a certain poundage. Let's say like the crappie. To When we were here in the 80s, we were catching 4 to 6 pound crappie. They're not going over 2 or 3 pounds now. That's it. They're just not growing. It's not, and the drought has drained the lake a little bit. And we have big bullfrogs. You know, we have toadsuck every year. So the bullfrogs are even suffering. They say that the new renovation of the lake, uh, they're going to fill it up and bring back the bullfrogs, bring back the fish, bring back the birds that used to migrate here, like geese, ducks. It used to be full of ducks at one time, and now they've disappeared, they say. So the renovation of the lake, not only will give them the opportunity to fix the dam, they have to fix the dam. It's broken. It's fixing to collapse, which would cause flooding. Um, and so it gives them the chance to fix the dam. It gives them a chance to keep Lake Conway full again. But everybody's mad. They bought those houses on the lake, and now they have no lake. Colin J said this is the end. I said, no, it's not the end. Come on now. There's so many beautiful lakes in Arkansas that you can fish in. It's not just one. There's many. So, and the river, and the river feeds, I think, Lake Conway, there at Toadsuck Park. Um, yeah, the fish can grow as big as their environment. Well, Karen, the thing about this is these fish aren't growing, and then with the drought, it's got less water, which stunted. I think it stunted the fish, is what they're trying to say. We have small and largemouth bass that just aren't growing. And we used to have the fishing tournaments here, but now they've all left. So this might help the fishing industry. And if you have got a lake in your state that is doing the same thing, let me know. Let me know. All right, so let's get on with the show. Yeah, where's the beef? Yeah. You know those commercials that shows that great big juicy hamburger? Yeah, where's that beef? I say that every time I get a fast food burger from Burger King. I'm like, okay, I got tons of lettuce, I got the tomato, I got the pickles, and where's the beef? Did their patties shrink? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, because now we've got Adelia that has made landfall, and it moved across, and you know it hit Georgia pretty hard. And my deal with Georgia, what I thought of is that song by Vicki Lawrence, "When the Lights Went Out in Georgia." When they hung an innocent man. Well, maybe the power went out in Georgia because they're trying to try an innocent man. That's all I'm going to say on it. People know what I'm talking about. You know, I've been humming it all day today. It's been stuck in my brain. I might even have it for trivia tomorrow. All right, um, so let's pull her up. Oh, looky there. Um, so they're saying summer could hang on longer than they thought. Well, I think we're about 2 months off. Karen, did I think I may have said this last summer, that I think that our seasons are about 2 months off, and they just haven't readjusted yet. All right, so let's listen to what she has to say.
Summer could hang on longer in the country's midsection, and it's possible that we could wind up talking about September as one of the top 5 warmest Septembers on record. It is much too early to tell, but the trends indicate September 2023 will be an unusually warm month compared to statistical averages. And it appears the country's midsection will be where warmer temperatures are most above average. Some cooler changes are forecast for the West, and we know that many of you enjoy seasonal changes, so know that there are some crisp days coming for the Great Lakes and the Northeast. This is just a quick glance to show you the overall temperature trend.
Okay, boy, I love this because you see where the high is. I'm going to tell you that's where the worst of the tornadoes are going to be. We're fixing to move into tornado season. Now we see the jet stream go way up high, and that's what usually happens this time of year. And thank God, I don't know if I like the red going on in Arkansas that you see, but during tornado season, it's when the higher temperatures clash with the colder temperatures that come into our state, and that causes all these tornadoes. Now, I know she didn't mention it, but I see that the purple, I guess, in the center that goes through Oklahoma into Kansas. I'm seeing we could be seeing the worst tornadoes ever in this region, and it's not because climate change. It's Mother Nature. She's saying, "Hey, this is where it's going to be this year." Every year, I have seen temperatures at 100 degrees at the end of September. I once had an MS conference here that I was basically putting on, me and this other lady. It got to 98 degrees here, and we had to move people out of a park back to the hotels and because they were in wheelchairs for the MS thing. But it was 98 degrees. So don't fall for, oh, this is different, this is weird, this is abnormal. Now this was like almost 20 years ago, but yeah, this is something that's repeated. So let's not fall for the whole, this is the worst tornado season since for 20 years. No, it just happens. It just happens. And over the years, with doing haunted houses here at my own home, um, I have seen temperatures in the 80s, 90s on trick or treaters on Halloween night to where we're almost having to run fans uh, in different parts of the haunted house to keep my actors cool. So, all right, if the lights went out in Georgia, they didn't hang that poor baby, that poor boy. Yeah, yeah, the time when they hung an innocent man. Yeah. It doesn't, now I'm going to have that stuck in y'all's brain. I'm going to have to do some type of trivia on it tomorrow. All right. So I want to get this down and I want to move on because we even got earthquakes today. The hurricane. Um, boy, this is just, um, I'm hoping I can get this in here. But there is so much destruction. Um, so this is part of it. I'm going to go through the pictures briefly of what idea. I think that's Adelia had done. Um, the destruction. They had a video, but I think the pictures do more justice, folks. As you look through them, it's the worst of the worst. They are doing cleanup. Um, People have lost their homes. Um, but this is part of Florida at this time of year. And don't think this is just the only hurricane that will hit Florida. There's many more to come, folks. Um, we are looking at the very beginning of hurricane season. So where will it hit next? And Yeah, surprisingly, Joe Biden and the or this administration has stepped in and they're willing to help those in Florida. And he called the administration has called DeSantis and ready to help and send in FEMA. Um, and people were really smart and they evacuated. Not very many stayed. Uh, and so they call it basically on evacuations, they call it a success. Um, I think it was. When from what I've seen, we're not seeing very many people that stayed and put up with the brunt of the storm. Now, I don't think Georgia knew what was going to hit them, and it hit Georgia as hard as it did Florida. It's almost like was making a beeline for Georgia. That's how it looked to me after going back and looking, because it hit just a sliver, just a little sliver of Florida, and then it wrecked. Um, and guess what? The governor's mansion in Florida, in Alabama, in Georgia was hit. Maybe maybe they need to wake up and look at what they're doing wrong. Then it went on to the Carolinas to where it broke up, and now it's out to sea. So goodbye. Now we're on to the next one. Oh boy. Uh, you know, um, so beware. I mean, if you live in Florida and the Gulf states, I mean, it wasn't Louisiana this time. So Louisiana's buckling down. They're already starting to get ready for the next one. All right. So, all right. Let me, uh, okay. The earthquakes. Oh boy, folks. This is, um, look at how there's not very many. The one that got me was the one back down in the southern mid Atlantic ridge, folks. Um, it, down here close to South America and Africa, they've been having a lot of them. Now, I expected a lot of them up towards Iceland, but that's not happening. Now, I showed you the map yesterday where San Andreas was just full. Well, they're still getting them. They got one in Westmoreland, um, and also Patterson. Then you go over to Wolf Creek, Utah. Wolf Creek, that's a new one in Utah. Then we went down to Toya, Texas, which you've been seeing a lot in, and Westbrook, Texas. Are we waiting for it to go up the East Coast again? Now we seen um, yesterday when I showed you the map how it went right up the East Coast, and why aren't we being told? Because I'm showing these every day, except for on weekends, and I'm seeing a trend of it going up the East Coast heavily, but we're not seeing it. Um, a lot of them around Tonga, Fiji, they had a 5.0 in Tonga. They had the Solomon Islands 5.3. Then it got real quiet. 5.4 in Indonesia and Naizano Dua. Um, that was 5.4. And then if you go up and around, you're looking at a 4.4 in Kursk, Russia. They get hit a lot right there. Over to the Attic, Alaska, where they have a lot of these volcanoes. Um, so it says 40 earthquakes, and to me, it's all just aftershocks. So I went over and took a look at Yellowstone to see, okay, what's going on over there, and there's still close to 10 earthquakes just within the last 2 days. It's busy, and this is northern. So if you see these videos that are saying, "Oh, look at the big volcano in the center of Yellowstone," this isn't that fault line. It's not this volcano. It's on the north end of the park. It's close to, um, pretty much in the corner, north. northwest corner of uh, Wyoming. But I'm going to have this wrong. I've been looking at states today, real bad. I think it's Wyoming and Montana corner. Um, so what are we going to see? And what's causing this? When I looked at the earthquakes yesterday on the red map for the last 7 days and seeing 2,000 earthquakes, it bugged me all day, all night, through this morning, and I'm thinking, wow, why aren't we being told? If there's that many on the West Coast, why aren't they warning them? What is going on? So, um, well, I might have to go back to the lake. So, um, this is something very different going on with the earth. And when you go back in history, the earthquakes get less and less and less. Is it because we were drilling for gas into the volcanoes during the Obama administration? Or was it that just it's time for a lot of these volcanoes to blow? We don't know. And the scientists are being blocked from studying them. All right, I'm going to move on. The lake. You've never heard of a lake being drained. Um, we have had problems with this lake due to um, algae and the lake going, like they say going sour, and it kills the fish. And every like I said, since '96, they've done it twice. And it didn't hurt my feelings one bit because I thought, it was getting low and it was getting stinky. And so they're trying to fix that issue. And they come to find out that um, the dam had so much damage and they needed to really slow down the flow so they could fix it. And this is their way. Because if this dam was to break, Susan, I'd probably flood. I'm in a floodplain. All my The reason I can't grow anything in my yards is it's all sand. All everything for I don't have dirt. I have sand mixed with dirt, mostly sand. So I'm in a floodplain, and I'm not that far from the river. And Toadsuck Park is where um, they have another dam, and so we have to. I guess it's a pre-measure that they want to fix this dam so that it doesn't break and it doesn't flood. So at this point, I don't know if I support it or if I'm mad because I'm mad that this will be the third time since I've moved here they've had to drain it for the same issues, and this time are they really going to fix it? And because you know what, who pays for it? The taxpayers, and they're talking $6 million. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Me, I'm no new taxes. Anything that's a tax on my ballot, I'm like, nope, nope. 127 tax increase under the Clinton administration has turned off this state for taxes. So, all right, and I don't want to go much further on that. All right, where's the beef? Yeah, Burger King must face, look at that, um, uh, deceptive ads over the Whopper size, is what the judge said. Yeah, if you're going to say it's a king size burger, it better be a king size burger, not what do they call that? Slab, not even a slab, it's a taste. Um, and so the Florida judge uh, this week rejected a bid from Burger King to dismiss a class action lawsuit against the fast food chain that was allegedly the franchise repeatedly exaggerated the size and the beef content of his signature Whoppers. So when they had these commercials, folks, they put a bigger burger in there. Do you feel ripped off yet? And I had a Whopper Junior, and I looked at it and I said, "This is a patty, really?" A Whopper Junior? Shouldn't it be a bigger burger? Why? Yeah, the little itty bitty thing that didn't even fit on the bun. Yeah, where's my Whopper? Where's the beef? So the judge has ruled against them on this and said um, the the Whoppers appear approximately 35% larger in their ads than they are actually on the actual bun. So now the judge has ruled against them. Thank you. Uh, they're seeking changes, they said, uh, and they want fairness uh, across the industry on the issue. So they got sued, and guess what? We won. If they're going to claim that it's a bigger burger, they better put a bigger burger on the bun. And that's what the judge said. And that's in Florida. But now they feel that across the nation, to keep others from suing them in other states, they're going to have to put the bigger burger back on the bun. So, wow. Where's the beef? Okay, robotaxis. What? Robotaxis. What was that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it? That the taxis kind of was like a robot guy. Well, that's what they want to put out. They say nearly 2 dozen states have passed legislation now allowing for uh, robot taxis and vehicles to be deployed or tested. So next time you call a taxi, you might climb in and there's no one in the seat. Or it might be a robot, might be AI. It might be, I don't know. Well, are you going to get in the taxi or not? Me, I'm going to look at it and say, oh, hell no. Or give me a backseat brake and a steering wheel. I don't like it. Folks, I'm, I'm old and I'm used to someone driving. And if I ride passenger, I still have that invisible brake and steering wheel. And when someone's not stopping, my old foot hits. Yeah. I don't know if the rest of you are like that. So now we got a robo taxi that's coming out. Can we trust them? Huh? I'm just not sure about this. Now, Phoenix, San Francisco, Austin are currently the only cities where people can hail these robo taxis. Uh, a company Cruise, owned by General Motors, announced that it'll start testing 14 other cities. The larger rollout is expected in the Sun Belt, where policies and weather are more favorable for these robo taxis that tend to run issues in the snow, rain, or excessive heat. See, I'm already wanting the brake in the back seat. I'm sorry. That's exactly what I said. Meanwhile, 23 states have passed legislation allowing these vehicles to be tested. The main issue is figuring out who has the authority over self driving cars. Why can't we just have flying cars? Karen's saying, no, no, no. I'm losing. People are going, oh no, Ellie, I don't want to hear this. Yeah, they're putting on the brakes too. Yeah. I don't know, folks, and I wish I could open this up for discussion and have people call me on my phone, because this is the new thing. Um, uh, it's especially with Uber drivers, and Uber drivers are weird. They're finding out, so they need these self-driving things. Or what about the drones that bring your food to your door? No, I thought that was a bad idea. Or packages, uh, because thieves. Too many gangsters got guns and they'll shoot the drones down, take the stuff. Now we got taxi. Why? What happened to the Jefferson thing? The cartoon with the driving cars. I'd go for that. I don't know about these cars with nobody there. That just seems just odd. I'm okay. Ellie's old fashioned. I'm gonna move on. Everybody in chat saying no, folks. No, no, no. Uh, I think they agree with me. But see, a lot of them are a little older, and we're in a different generation. I can't even see the point of an EV car if the battery, and get this, if you get an EV car, they're now offering you your home package that gets added to the car, so uh, you can recharge your car from your house, which should raise your electric bill. Now, my thing with these EV cars is the recalls are horrendous on this. They can't keep them from blowing up or catching fire or defective parts. Not enough charge stations. I would have went for these for all of this if they would have spread it out in the next 10 years and worked out all the kinks. Now, I might be tempted to get into a taxi uh, with a robo driver if they would have done it slowly and they would have worked out all the bugs in it and made it so I knew I would be safe the next time I climbed into one of them cars. And it goes for the EV cars too. Okay, gravity wave captured in the highway time lapse. I'm sorry. Um, Um, and this was very interesting because we do see these clouds. And what we call them in Arkansas is a wall cloud because inside it is very destructive. Now, I don't know if this one was, but when we see a wall cloud like this coming, we prepare for tornadoes. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it up and let you guys watch. Okay, there we go. Boy, I'm running late today. It must have been the fish thing. All right, Trader Joe's. Yeah, Trader Joe's. We all know Trader Joe's, and they're recalling their tamales. It's the sixth product in 5 weeks. Um, they're boy, Trader Joe's recalled multigrain crackers. Also, metal contamination. So Trader Joe's, I think if you have anything to do with it, don't buy it. A lot of their products are on recall. Harley Davidson recalls 65,000 motorcycles that over a part that could increase a crash risk. Um, they said, well, not only that, but even Kia recalled nearly 320,000 cars because the trunks don't open. Um, they said, but the Harleys, they say a loss of tire pressure can lead to the loss of vehicle control. So it is the 2018, 18 through 22. And if you got a Harley and you're not sure, go and look it up and see if your motorcycle is under this recall. High chairs are being recalled. After I sent one to Karen, and I'm like, oh, good grief! I hope it ain't the one I sent. No, this is Flair Elite High Chair. It has a white and orange molded plastic seat and white tray and a metal base. Um, the Flair high chairs have a gray plastic base. They were sold in 10 color combinations. So if you got a Flair Elite high chair, it's been recalled. Boy. Um, Today in history. Yeah, we got to have something for today in history. August 31st, 1888. Jack the Ripper claimed his first victim. Have they even caught that man yet? Or did they catch him or figure out who it was? It was a doctor. It was a lawyer. It was some guy that just didn't have nothing better to do. So, yeah, today. Um, Quite the scene, they say. 5 million bees lose after falling off a truck outside of Toronto. Um, this happened yesterday. They were warning drivers to keep their windows closed. The bees were pissed off. They were stinging. Um, Crates were literally on the road, and swarms of bees were flying around. The scene prompted police to warn drivers to close their windows as they passed by. Um, uh, you know, and they're saying that they're transporting these beehives because people want to start their own bees. So they say basically 5 million bees have been safely collected now, and the crates were being hauled away. And so the colony of bees, uh, they say in the summers, um, is 50 to 80,000 bees, according to Canadian Council Honey Council. Uh, so yeah, uh, this happened in Burlington, Ontario. So yeah, bees got released. Can you imagine all them bees that they had to catch? How'd they catch them? I mean, I think what they do, get a bunch of queens. I'm not sure. The Queen of Hearts was out there on the freeway that day, and they collected them bees. All right. Uh, Dog repeatedly escapes Michigan shelter and sneaks into a nursing home, and they adopted him. They after the of many occasions, they said a half a dozen. This dog kept escaping. This was in Detroit. Well, Belair, Michigan. He'd had enough of being in the animal shelter, and he would climb over one tall fence and another, cross a busy highway in the darkness, through automatic doors to be able to be at the nursing home. They eventually adopted him, and the patients are very happy. They have their dog, and he is everybody's dog, they say. Um, so they called. They say they called animal control, and they said, we got the dog, and let's see if I can. There we go. You guys got to see this guy. So here he is. He is now uh, uh, the proud pet at the nursing home, where they're all enjoying him, and he goes room to room and makes sure everybody's happy, and he gets pet, belly scratched, and snacks. Boy, what a story, huh? Um, a wildlife photographer of the year. Um, it appears to show an enormous, scary face emerging from the ocean. But what you're actually looking at is um, um, a stargazer fish, which has buried itself in the sandy floor of the Mediterranean. Um, yeah, and I've got to go through this quick because I know I'm running late. But this is the fish, and well, let me leave it up there for a little bit. So this fish was captured, and this photographer. It's really hard to get this fish on film, but he said a ghostly reminder that not all fish are pretty. Yeah. Okay. Uh, um, Two mountain lions die apparent starvation in California after relocation by wildlife officials. Um, the Fish and Game in 2021 um, said that these some have died of starvation at the place they put it, um, forcing them to cross through a barren, unfamiliar terrain. They're experiencing a difficulty to finding prey. This is Los Angeles Times first reported it when it came over um, uh, a report on recovery endangering Sierra Nevada bighorn sheep. At the time, the state wildlife officials made the decision to capture and relocate two male cougars. and that were preying on sheep, and they thought they had them in a really good sanctuary. Come to find out, they almost starved them to death. And so, not all sanctuaries that they take these critters to are actually safe. Oh boy. All right. So, we have um, um, the kids that say, "Mommy, why?" I'm on to the funny post for the end of the show here because I still got to call Lee and get the other show going. Uh, mommy, or grandma, hey, why? Why is everybody running down the street, mommy? As they live in uh, a very gang invested town. Mommy, why is everybody running? Shut up and reload, kid. Oh boy. Mommy, grandma, daddy's running down the street. Shut up and step on the gas. Uh, Mommy, where did your scabs go? Shut up and eat your cornflakes. Oh boy, these are horrible. Mommy, I'm getting dizzy. Shut up or I'll nail the other foot down. Uh, Mommy, can I play with grandma? Shut up, kid. You dug her up twice last week. Ah, that's the one that got me. I was like, oh, good grief. Where do these kids live? Oh boy. The guns running down the street, step on the gas. Now we're digging up grandma. Keep your kids away from the graveyards. Mommy, what's for dinner? Shut up and get back in the oven. Mommy, can I wear a bra? I'm 16. Shut up, Albert. Get back in the can. I'm wondering where they found these things. Mommy, Sally won't stop skipping with me. Don't be cruel. You know it makes her stumps bleed. Boy, these are horrible, Karen. These are scary. Mommy, I don't like tomato soup. Shut up. We only have it once a month. Mommy, I don't want to visit grandma. Shut up and keep digging. I want to know who this mom is and this kid is at this point. Okay, why do other kids tell me I have a long nose? You don't, but lift up your head or it'll scrape the floor, you know? Oh boy, horrible. All right, folks, tomorrow is trivia, and come on back for me and Lee in about 15 minutes. And we got a really good show. We got news, and we got Lee coming on with the the corruption of the United States, and we're going to get to the bottom of corruption and how it can affect a family and a community. So come on back. And Garrett says, these aren't funny. I don't know. Digging up grandma was a good one. And keep digging. And oh boy, yeah. Ooh. Uh, think about it for a while, Karen, and you'll get a giggle. Yeah. So, all right, folks, with that, come on back tomorrow. Please subscribe and share. Hit that like button and the thumbs up. Thumbs up will help investigator news get out there. So, and tell your friends. And we're working at, let's build ourselves back up where we were a few years ago when we had close to 1,000 viewers, and they took them from me. And now they won't even notify them that I'm on. So people are finding me on their own. All right, folks. With that, we will see you tomorrow. If not, come on back in a few minutes and for news and with me and Lee. All right, you guys take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. And God bless.